Take a look at this. Exclusive. Atlanta protesters, I love Breitbart puts it in quotes, embedded nails into fireworks, leaked FBI document states. And they show a photo of these commercial grade mortars they use. And we'll just read it. They say, Breitbart, Texas reviewed an FBI activity alert regarding the use of modified fireworks during the demonstration in Atlanta, which began on July 25th. The alert states that approximately 100 to 200 people dressed in dark clothing, backpacks, goggles, and helmets approached the ICE office in Atlanta. The subjects reportedly carried shields, bats, and large sticks. Following the attack that left 20 broken windows, bomb technicians discovered commercial-grade fireworks with nails embedded in the mortar shell. The document reads, images of the modified fireworks show multiple large nails embedded in the devices. Organizers called on people to come out in solidarity with the, quote, freedom fighters of Portland, Breitbart, Texas reported. A video tweeted from Atlanta, shows multiple fireworks exploding around the doors and windows. Now, look,
there's speechless. I didn't see that before you showed me that, and that's crazy.
The nails being embedded in them?
Yeah, that's insane.
So you can see right here, right? They're pressed into it.
Yep, that's crazy.
In Portland, there was a report, this is from the New York Post, I believe, that one officer got impaled in the hand because Antifa had been laying nails out.
Wow.
So they grabbed for something and then got a nail through the hand. Something like that happened. Yeah. And people, some of the cops got burned, covered in welts. There's one photo that was talking about the injuries, and it looks like one of the officers was a bike officer.
Okay.
And he got a gash on his calf, which you can see it looks like a bike injury. And so the tweet said something like officers were injured, this, that, and this. And they show an image of the officer with the injury from his bike. And then people are like, they're lying. He didn't really get injured by the protesters. He got injured by his bike. And I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You know why? If a police officer is riding his bike and a bunch of crazy leftists start throwing things and attacking him and he slips and gets injured on his bike, it's not his fault. He didn't just fall off his bike randomly. He was attacked by people. Yeah. So if they're showing you a photo of a fight between far leftists and cops, and a cop falls off his bike and gets injured, and they show you that, why does it matter if it's like he fell off his bike? You made him fall off his bike.
Oh, man. You're right. Yep. That's crazy.
Oh, you want to show the...
Yeah, I pulled that up because
I don't think we can actually play the video on YouTube, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Well, we could just talk about it. So this is actually from last night. Andy No is great. He's covering all sorts of on the ground stuff. You know, he's got all his different sources that he passes along to the public eye because he's got a platform for it. So this one here is specifically a bomb was I say bomb because
it was a bomb.
It was definitely a bomb. It was definitely a bomb. It was something significantly bigger than a mortar. It wasn't fireworks. It was clearly it is a boom. It sounded kind of like a
giant
like
fireball,
a small
erupts.
Grenade. It wasn't fireworks.
It was an IED.
You're right, absolutely right. Yeah.
So
yeah, you can go find it on his page.
Well, look,
I also retweeted this. And it's crazy. They're clearly, you can
we'll probably get in trouble for doing justice. I kid you not.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Let's just play it, whatever. You guys ready? It might be loud.
Just play it. Yeah, that's serious. That's not fireworks.
Nah, it's not. That wasn't fireworks.
No, this is definitely they're elevating what they're doing. They're clearly really trying to get into this courthouse for whatever reason it is. It's insane.
I think the intention for a lot of the explosives they're making is to start fires. You can see that after it goes off, fire kind of goes up the side of the building for a little bit before going out. Mm-hmm. And they've been trying to burn the building for quite some time. So that didn't look like it was meant to cause shock damage by an explosion, but to blast the fireball out. I don't know exactly what their intention is or what kind of bomb that was, but that was not a commercial grade firework. That was literally an IED.
Yep.
When people say they use fireworks as IEDs, okay, that was them literally making a bomb.
Yeah, that was not fireworks.
So according to, I think Bill Barr may have mentioned this, using water balloons full of kerosene or some kind of fuel, so that when they throw the balloons and it splatters, the fireworks might ignite it, or the other way around. That they could start small fires, and then when they throw the balloons, it's fuel in the fire, and it sprays everywhere.
That's what I think all those mason jars that were set 2 nights ago, they were finding all these mason jars around the fence, but they didn't have a rag in them like a Molotov cocktail, but they were filled with some sort of liquid. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, kerosene or something.
Well, and it would hurt, a glass jar filled with water, like a mason jar sealed with water, that's fairly heavy. You throw that at someone that can hurt, especially if it's flammable. Man, these people they need to be stopped. And people need to see that this is actually what's going on at night.
Yep.
People don't believe it.
Yep.
Well, no. That's
they're lying.
That's a rumor that's only being spread here in DC.
A myth.
Get out of here, man.
I think they're lying.
The footage myself.
There's no circumstance in which I will be happy with their answer to this other than condemning. If they come out and say it's not true, there's no violence, then they're either lying and essentially protecting these people, or they're so insanely inept they should not be in office. But I'll tell you what, man, watching that Bill Barr hearing was like, man, I'm flabbergasted at how bad the Democrats have become.
You know when you're watching a press conference or like a White House press conference, and you got the way that the reporters ask questions specifically, they're not good questions. They're all roundabout, trying to get the president or McKennedy to say something. What they're trying to fish for the right thing.
Sound bites.
Yeah, it felt like that's what the Democrats were doing, but they're terrible at it. They had someone.
Well,
someone was
let him speak.
Yeah, they never let him speak. It was just like, I don't understand what their goal was.
Re-election.
Well, they were specific to a amount of time, and they were probably stressing because he was trying to answer the question, and if he did answer any of their questions, they would run out of time. And every single time they were, your time's up. Well, I just need to add this one gotcha sentence to Bill Barr, yeah, you can take that and I'm out of here. Or I'm going to add this really weird evidence.
Second week of October, in all of their districts, there's going to be commercials, and it's going to be Democrat number 1 challenged Bill Barr on being corrupt and protecting Donald Trump. And it's going to show them going no, you are corrupt. That's what it's all about. And then they're getting their
his
sound
response
bites.
Was, I will always choose the law. I will always pick the law over anything else. And I was just like, yes, that's what I want as my attorney general. Someone who's going to choose the law, period. Done.
Well, so the funny thing about the Roger Stone stuff was that he recommended a lesser sentence because Stone was 67. And they attacked him for it. And I'm like, that's actually, I really like that he did that regardless of guilt. Sentencing recommendations proportional to the individual, I don't like a robotic system where it's we don't care who you are or what your circumstances are. We're throwing you in the can. Not going to think twice.
Yeah, why would they want that? Why?
You want a system?
Aren't they fighting against that kind of thing?
No, they're not. They're fighting for re-election. But I'll tell you what they're fighting for right here. Check this out. Mayor Ted Wheeler. The mask slipped.
Oh boy.
Whoop, fell off.
The Antifa mask.
Commissioner Joanne PDX and I are calling for an immediate meeting with Department of Homeland Security leadership on the ground in Portland and with Acting Secretary DHS Wolf to discuss a ceasefire and the removal of heightened federal forces from Portland. Wait, hold on. How does he have the authority to negotiate a ceasefire on behalf of Antifa?
I thought they were in a group.
That's a good question.
I don't, whether they're a group or not. If there's a large amount of leftists that are violent, how is the mayor going to negotiate on their behalf? Does he have some sort of control over this group, either directly or indirectly, say with the police? Is he basically saying he can go to the feds and say, we're going to stop fighting you and we'll put it all to rest? And I'll tell you what, he's saying removal of heightened federal forces from Portland. He's basically saying, get rid of the extra guys you've sent in, the heightened forces, keep the marshals, and we will stop. What does that mean about which side he's on? I've been saying this. It's a de facto letter of marque. Mm-hmm. These far leftists are working essentially at the behest, whether they realize it or not, for the Portland and Oregon government.
I think so.
Attacking the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, what Mayor Wheeler is saying is that he could crush this protest, this riot at any moment with the police, but he's choosing not to. Or he's just, talking nonsense, making it all up, and he has no authority.
What is in that courthouse that they want? What is it? What's in there?
That's the only symbolic victory.
Either it's a symbolic thing to take down the federal courthouse, or there's something in there that they want taken out. I know it's a conspiracy, but man, it makes me think.
I think it's not even necessarily a conspiracy. They would love to destroy as much as possible in that federal courthouse. It would result in tons of people being released from prison, having their cases dropped, and they know it.
Yep, that's true.
I mean, look, it's a federal courthouse. There's probably a lot. I'll say that a lot of cases that go through there, and what, all gone? I think for the most part, symbolic victory. But the bigger issue I have is when we talk about the Democratic governors and mayors marching with Black Lives Matter, allowing them in the face of the lockdowns, it's obvious they're aligned with them, right?
Yep.
Then when the mayor of Portland joins them, it's like, okay, now hold on a minute. He's standing there and they're throwing explosives.
Yeah.
He's got to know what's going on. No, he claimed, no, I'm just out here. Then he's like,
I'm working for you guys.
Now he's actually saying we'll negotiate a ceasefire. Okay, this guy's been running the whole thing from the get-go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so either Antifa is a group that is organized that you can actually talk to, which is what he's implying here, or they're not, or they're a figment of everyone's imagination. Make up your mind, Democrats. Please. The American public is not as stupid as you keep thinking they are. And they're fed up. I know I am. Yeah.
How is he going to... He could be lying. Just trying to trick the feds into leaving, even though he has no control over the far left at all. I think the more worrying thing is that, like I mentioned, they're trying to wield the far left to their advantage, and they think they're doing it. But then something changed. Public sentiment around the riot started to backfire on the Democrats, and now all of a sudden he's asking for a ceasefire.
Yep. He's like, oh man, this is starting to backfire. We need to backstep. It's
funny because I keep hearing from people, like I posted some photos on Instagram. There are a lot of photos you can see of storefronts that have signs saying, please don't hurt us.
Yeah, it's sad.
Because the far left goes around destroying business. The cops aren't the ones going around smashing out people's windows.
Nope.
So they're begging the leftists to leave them alone. And this is really, really bad for the narrative. When people in the suburbs see those messages, they get scared. Like, I don't want to live that way. I don't want these people coming to my place.
Yeah.
I see comments from people saying, I live in Portland and you're wrong. Everything's fine. And you know what I do when I see these comments? Nothing. You know why?
Why?
Because a minute later, another comment pops up from someone saying, I live in Portland and you're lying. We're sick of it.
Yep.
Our businesses are suffering. Nobody wants to go downtown anymore. COVID has locked everything down. Now the protests are making it worse. Everybody wants to get on with their lives. Stop acting like you know.
Yep.
And then they argue. And I'm like, listen, the fact that they're arguing proves there is a problem. You
point.
might like the riots. You might say, it's no big deal. We're fighting injustice. Doesn't matter. The fact that one person, what was that guy's name? Philip?
Yep, Philip Anderson.
Philip Anderson would come out and be like, no, stop. You're making everything worse. Says enough.
Yep.
When the silent majority, when even a small handful of normies are forced out on the street to stop this, that's how you know you've really started shaking up the beast. The far leftists always want to go out with bricks. They always want to smash everything up. Regular people want to hang out and play video games and order pizza and just get on with their day and figure out how to get through this trying time. When they start showing up, you're waking up that beast, that sleeping giant.
Oh yeah.
Who's like, we did not want to have to do this. You forced us.
Yeah, the term silent majority is not even accurate. It's the sleeping giants that work. That they're the backbone of America. They're the ones doing the hard work, keeping our civilization going, our society, what we are, what we have in this country.
They protect us while we sleep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fight Club quote.
Sure.
The regular people who are doing these jobs.
Yeah.
So now they're being forced to stand up, and many of them probably didn't want to do it.
Yep, I agree.
But this is how bad things have been getting. That I just, when it comes back to the polls and everything, I just don't believe it.
No, not same. I don't agree.
Yeah,
I don't believe it at all.
But maybe we're unfortunately the only people who pay attention. The people who are watching this. Look, it's amazing that we get, you guys come and hang out with us. There's so many people watching and listening. But come on, man, CNN gets like 300 million views on YouTube every month. 300 million.
Okay. Well, they're also
massive.
They're also like all over the place. Is it only Americans? No. CNN is one of the news. It's in every airport, right?
But there's CNN International to separate.
Like, sure. Okay.
So I just mean like CNN does look, people want to make fun of them because their ratings have been going down, but they get ratings, and you combine that with all of their outlets that are lying nonstop.
Yeah.
And it's worrying. Maybe we're in this bubble of people who are arguing, even arguing about some of these ideas and thinking critically. And look, man, I try and watch some of these leftist YouTubers.
Okay.
And I'm just left stunned by I
can't do it either.
The ineptitude, the lack of sourcing.
Right, exactly.
Whenever I do all of my segments on my other channels, Timcast and Timcast News on YouTube, I do exactly the same thing we do here, where when we're talking about something, you can see the source. However, on my channels, the source is displayed 100% of the time. There's no cutaway to my face or anyone else's face. And the reason for that is I want everyone to have it right in front of them. I'm not just saying these things. Here's CNN, the New York Times, and MSNBC all saying this thing.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you how I feel, and I'm going to show you sources and go to the root of where this information came from. I watch some of these other channels, and I'm like, did you bother Google searching this?
Right.
There was one instance where I think it was Ted Cruz was asked by Chuck Todd on Meet the Press, do you believe that Ukraine meddled in the 2016 election? And Ted Cruz's response was something like, I think the media, we've seen it from the New York Times to, Forbes and several other outlets, that yes, there were Ukrainians who were seeking to interfere in the election. And then on the MSNBC side, you hear laughing.
Wow.
I think it was everyone just starts laughing.
Yeah.
And there was a certain, leftist YouTuber who did a segment on it and then just immediately started laughing. And he was like, wow, how dumb is Ted Cruz? They're laughing at him. And I was like, and this is a prominent, YouTuber. And I was like, I facepalmed. And I was like, I heard what Ted Cruz said. I Google searched what he said. And guess what? He was right. Yep. There was a bunch of stories from Forbes, the New York Times, The Hill, saying that, yes, there were Ukrainians who were trying to interfere in the election. Not that it was a systemic top-down attack like it was with Russia, but there were Ukrainians who had vested interests in trying to help Hillary Clinton win. And that's a fact. The New York Times has a story that says a Ukrainian court ruled that these people in Ukraine were trying to meddle in our election. But Chuck Todd, Meet the Press, supposed to be this prestigious news outlet, was laughing. Did Chuck Todd, does he not have the internet?
Maybe not.
They don't do any research. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.